Hello, hello, hello. I hope you can hear me out there. James here. Be right with you in a minute. I had a topic on my mind I want to talk about, and it's about, hold on a minute. It's about family. And I was just sitting here thinking how it's getting closer to the holidays, and families come together for the holidays. Extended families, brothers, sisters, mother, father, brother, sister, niece and nephew, sons and daughters. And, and you figure it's a good time sometimes get close friends to come in for the holidays. But I learned as I get older, when I was younger, Christmas was wonderful when I was a kid. Thanksgiving was wonderful when I was a kid. Easter was okay when I was a kid. But as I get older and you see people who relate to you, you find out along the way that they weren't really your family. You know of them, you share the same past with them, but you grow differently. You grow in a whole different direction. Um, Family ain't like it used to be. The hierarchy of the family that kept the family together, majority were that generation are my grandparents. That was before the baby boom generation. And no matter what differences that they had, somebody, well, it was always a mediator. There was always someone that tried to talk some sense into people, that really brought people together. But I find that as I get older, that those people are leaving this world, and you have very few people in each generation are like that anymore. If you find one person in their generation is like that, you're very blessed to have someone in your family. People, we live in a time where people are so self-centered. All they think is about themselves. All they consider, and this is family. This is people that you know. This is people that you know most of your life. They act like, people that in my past, some act like they speak to me, some act like they don't know me, they don't recognize me, and I've been around them most of my life. And it's really sad. It's really at a point in life it's really gotten terrible. You get older, as you age in your body, you find out the friends you have ain't the friends. You find the family that you thought was family, and they kept you around them, but they kept you at a distance. Find out they really never loved you, never knew about you. And when you get older, it shrinks. And all you can do if you a person that believes in prayer is pray for them. Because despite all the people that you and your family members knew, and they leave in this world, they're getting sick, they get up in age, and unfortunately they pass. And they were the kind of people that brought together grandma, grandpa, granduncles, grand aunt. Somebody was always uniquely. But I noticed, in these last, decade, 2 decades, families are slowly drifting apart. People that you went to school with, people that you grew up in the neighborhood, people that you've been around, they're changing. They're getting more self-centered. In the case with me, I've seen people get more self-centered in my certain family members that I have. And despite all people leave this world, you figure that some people that left the world that it would teach and let people see that we need to come close together. When I find out people, after all the death has left, after all the sadness that have left, people they turn cold-hearted. They turn very cold-hearted. My sister and I was talking about a situation yesterday, and we was talking about her mom, and we was talking about her niece. Her mom, which is like my stepmom, and her daughter, which is like my niece. And my sister is a good person. My sister has always been there and tried to take care of all the elders in the family. And it really troubled me that it was a situation. Well, let me start by saying, first it was her daughter. Now, her daughter, father's side of the family, has a family member that is very sick, is on hospice. And her mother, who works in a nursing facility, who worked many years in a facility, she's very good. My sister is very good at taking care of elderly people. People are very sick, very ill. And what she told me really shocked me, because my niece, who's grand-aunt, who's on hospice, get a little self-centered because her mother, my sister, wouldn't want to watch her kids. And why are you giving all that time to? And said, well, outrageous things to my sister. And it troubled me, man. And the reason why I'm making this video, because it's really troubling. Like, this is your family member. It's not your family member, it's your father's side of the family. And your mother, even though your parents are no longer together, but your mother, who has the godly will to take care, have a little closeness, despite whatever happened between their father and her, but willing to go take care of another family member over there. And she gets mad at my sister because my niece got 2 kids, and my sister never see her grandkids because she's one of these young people that everything's centered around themselves. I'm gonna call it what it is. It's centered around them. Some of these young people, man, in the 20s, 18 to 20, they're the most selfish generation I've ever seen in my life. Some of them are more self-centered. They're all about themselves. But they're some of the most self-centered generation I've ever seen. I've never seen it. You got a little bit of millennial, but this Gen Z, some of them part of the Gen Z generation, they self-centered. I'm talking about all they care about is what appeals to them, what it is, what their friends about. But when push comes to shove, when they get in trouble, who they call? They call mom and daddy and everybody else. But where are these Gen Z friends then? Where are all these people you love, but they don't want to, they can't help you in the time. And when your mother, who's willing to help you, who will do anything and do anything to help you, you just shut her away. And it's not like my niece was never abused. She never, you not to see, some people abuse somebody, or it was hurt feelings or hurt words, and you can kind of understand. My sister never did it. She treated, spoiled that child. She loved her son, both her children. Her son's still with her. He just turned 25, and I got this guy because this was on my mind. Then on top of that, her mom turns around, my sister's mother, because we got 2 different mothers. My sister's mother turns around, and I just found this out because my sister had been going through some things in her body. She's been going through some medical problems, and she's been going through, trying to take care of people while she's neglecting her own health, and her mother trips out on her. And when her mother's mother was alive, she stayed with her, but they didn't see eye to eye at times. She would get on her last nerves, and go through the whole scenario and situation. When her boyfriend was alive, who was pretty much like a stepdad, she did, she was going through a rigmarole. They got their little argument. Now that they both gone, it's almost like she take it out on my sister, and my sister did everything to be there and support her, even to help her move and being respectful and loving her as a daughter should love a mother, respect. I just don't, and then you got then you have her aunt accuses her of something so outrageous, and I'm telling you, man, and every person got some serious issue. I mean, I mean, till you got people acting out on things that they've been carried on for generation after generation. And it's really sad, man, because we all getting up in age. My uncle said we got one foot in the ground, we got one, and we could one day gonna be headed to the grave. And it's sad that anything can happen to anybody. Hopefully it don't happen to us anytime soon. But you should learn to appreciate the people, regardless of what age, what generation gone, because once you can let your self-centeredness go, that's it. That person, these people be crying and weaving, and like when her grandma died, but she felt much like my grandmother. When they died, all family members wanted to come and clown, but they never ever wanted to come around this person when they in the land of the living. They never want to come around this person, but they go for all dramatic. You've seen that at funerals. You probably have family members that they do all this dramatic event, and they didn't even want. When the person was alive, they didn't want to be bothered with them. I mean, really, it's just unbelievable. It's just, and they put on this big front act when the person passes away, gets sick, they're on their deathbed, and you just see the coldness in fake people. Hold on one minute. I want to check out this thing. You see the coldness in people that I've never ever seen in my life. I've never seen